So here's a quick little video with a few tips in it to help you get down the steep trails, feel a bit more confident doing it. Go on, Gordy Bob! These are tips that I picked up throughout the years of riding, and I've not been told this or taught this. These are just my own points, so take them with a pinch of salt, but I'm sure there's a few in here that could help some of you get a bit more confident on the steep stuff. Right, into the first one. Sounds like a bit of a silly one, but straight off the bat, learn how to crash on the steep stuff. And I'm talking when it gets real steep here, when your biker brakes are on and you're still getting faster. At that point, you've got to either wrestle your bike round, which is fine. A lot of people can ride it out, but if you start losing control and start tipping forwards, you need to be able to step off the back of the bike. You don't want to be going with the bike over the bars, because you're just tumbling and tumbling and you won't stop. Or you will, but the chances are you'll probably get landed on by the bike or something like that. So yeah, step off. You want to be stepping off the back of the bike and pushing it out to the side like that, and that's going to keep you on your feet and let your bike take the fall as such. So now we've got that one out of the way. That's a good one to know. I think it definitely makes a big difference, and it can avoid you getting injured. Oh my god! Woo! Oh, two-wheel drifting. So tip number 2 is to, of course, look up, look ahead like you always do, but you want to look beyond your front wheel on the steep stuff. You need to be reading quite far ahead of the trail so you can pick your braking points. That's going to take us into point 3. Choose your braking spots wisely, because it's no good you just coming into a steep section, slamming on the anchors and just skidding all the way through. You need to keep feathering the brakes on and off to keep the wheels gripping and tracking into the dirt, otherwise you're just sliding, it's not doing anything. And also, you can't always brake on all surfaces. If you've got some big wet roots coming across the trail, or big steep wet rocks, or like a little gap in the hill, you need to come off your brakes, hop over the feature, or do what you need to do, which is obviously going to accelerate you, and then you want to grab back onto the brakes again. So that comes in with feathering the brakes. You need to pick your points right and make sure you're not just skidding down. So a point to add on to, while you're looking far ahead down the trail, you want to see where you can stop. So if there's a catch berm at the bottom, which on any well-made trail there usually is, you know you can hit that real hard and that will slow you. You can kind of reset on the way down. You can come in, slam into that berm, reset, look ahead, and then drop into the next bit of trail. So another big one is, a lot of your stopping power is going to come from your front brake. So obviously you can be a lot more aggressive with the rear brake, but that is going to tend to skid around more. So you've got a lot of stopping power in the front, so you want to be using your front as much as you possibly can without it locking up and skidding out, basically. So just think of your front brake as your anchor, and then your rear brakes kind of just basically keeping you in check. That's how I try and look at it anyway. A good technique is going to help you be able to grip the trail a lot more. So coming into or when you're like riding the steep sections, you want to drop your heels, and that allows you to kind of anchor into the dirt a bit more. It's funny how it doesn't sound like much, but doing that will sort of adjust your body weight slightly and allow you to really anchor in. And while you're doing that, if the trail, depending on the trail, if it's like quite a wide, loose trail, you can kind of hop the back from side to side, or skid it around to the left, skid it around to the right, and that's going to give you a bit more drag and stop you just going straight down flat out basically.
On the back tyre there.
Another thing you want to be doing is, especially if you don't know the trail, you don't know the speed of it, is to come in hard on the brakes and just roll in kind of as slow as you can. So you've got control going in, rather than coming in hammer and tong and just getting out of control straight away. You need to control your speed as much as possible. Definitely until you know the trail and where you can go a bit quicker or not. And you'd be surprised actually how much difference a new rear tyre makes. Obviously because you're going to be hard on the rear brake, and if you've got a decent tyre, instead of skidding you're just gripping the whole way through. So that is a good one. Not always doable, but it definitely helps having a nice rear tyre on there. So we can see how steep it is by how Gordy's slipping on the way up. It's a steep old section. So then the other part of it obviously becomes riding steep stuff as often as possible is going to get you feeling more comfortable on it. So if riding steep trails is part of the biking that you want to work on, you know you're just going to have to keep riding more of it. Start off on the mellower stuff, but then gradually work your way up to it. And it's funny actually how the first run you do will be petrifying, be fearing for your life. But then towards the end of the day of riding the steep stuff, you get this sense of calm and control, and it's not too bad. So riding it often builds your confidence. Obviously it goes without saying, but it's a good little tip for anyone.
Safer than it looks. It's quite bumpy. The entrance is probably the sketchiest bit. I think it'll be reasonably grippy. It looks quite grippy from here.
So, and last but not least is your mindset. I know it's crazy, but if you get yourself dialed in and you know you just set yourself out to enjoy the run rather than hanging on for dear life, you're just going to get down it easier. Just watch one of Sam Pilgrim's videos and see how he hits features. Obviously he's got loads of experience, he's an amazing rider, but the way he attacks a trail with just like upbeat, like good times, he's not going to crash, he's going to get through anything. So that is a big part of it, getting your mindset right as you go in, or if you start a day and you know you're going to be riding the steep stuff, just enjoy it, have fun. And if you're not, don't ride it, go and ride something else. There we have it, folks. A few tips there for riding steep trails. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you over in one of the trail previews.